Hi, Kay. Thank you so much for submitting your question to Amon Ros. I'm delighted to explore this with you. So, I'm going to read your question because think a lot of people will understand. So, you have a sister that you're close to, and you feel she is living her life in motion and simply just surviving. She doesn't realize how much better her life could be if she opens her heart to love, friendship, and compassionate community. She always insists that she is not sad, she is at peace, and she enjoys her life, but I have never seen her really smile and open up to others. She drinks alcohol on a regular basis, and she doesn't think alcohol is causing her harm. She also refuses to get help from any spiritual methods, and I always hear that a person cannot be helped or healed if the person does not want to be helped. But I want to help her to see the beauty in human connection. She has not a single friend. Please let me know if you have some advice. Thank you. Wow. That's a really powerful message. Just that simply alone says a lot. I'm just going to relax here and we'll see what Spirit has to share, okay? I see what is a wooden wall, and there are little bead droplets of white paint. The wooden wall says keep out. The paint says keep out. On the other side of it is a ravishing, beautiful forest. The paint that is white is turning into a pink color. Just the beads, I just see really tiny little beads, and then they show me the message keep out, but they're now showing me just the beads of the white and turning into pink on wood. There's a huge X, and that X that is being held by two posts, the X is actually starting to break down. The wood is rotted out, and it's not going to be able to hold up much longer. Sometimes we put keep out we use the words keep out as sort of a gift for our own protection of our own hearts. We use it as a gift we give to ourselves in order to maintain our own perspective of balance. But eventually, versions of keep out become rotted out, and it's no longer useful for the soul's growth and development. So those walls will be broken down when they're meant to. When the soul is ready to transition into something else or something more. Sometimes when you're in those scenarios, all you can do is the best you can do, but in the end, it is their choice. But while it's their choice, as human beings, it's sort of when does the heart move me to sing and dance or to be silent and still or to be sad? When does the heart move me to do these things like overcome grief, overcome depression, overcome anger? When does the heart move me to do these things? Sometimes the soul intervenes as well. The higher self intervenes and says, I'm ready to work on this now. I've been using keep out as an opportunity to learn more about being shut in and working with other energies of love, working with alcohol or working with nature or whatever it might be. Other energies of love using keep out, I'm working with other energies. I don't want to be working with human beings right now. I want to be working with myself in my own world, with alcohol, with whatever else there might be. So I need keep out right now. But keep out isn't going to sustain itself. In this scenario, Spirit is saying that keep out is rotted out, is put up with rotted out wood. It's not healthy wood. It's breaking apart, and it won't be that way for much longer. She herself already feels like she is rising up to the surface, like a new bubble of herself is kind of rising up to the surface. Doesn't want to be deep in an abyss world, but actually to become lighter and airier, full of air, a bubble head, and then come to the surface. With more air, we begin to float to the surface. And we get bubbly. I see a mirage of her still standing on the other side of a keep out fence. This X and the two posts. It's falling apart. She looks at me and she wants me to follow her into the woods. She is really a deep person. I try to go into the woods with her, but the keep out sign is there, and I tell her I can't enter the woods with you. Your keep out sign is still here. I actually energetically cannot get through your keep out sign. I am speaking with your sister's higher self, her spirit right now. I'm speaking with some part of her reflection right now. She is actually here, ready to have this conversation. So she's listening to this right now. She is picking up on this. And she is coming forward, showing her face. She says, I'm not ready to move this just yet. She said, I didn't ask you to come on the other side. I simply wanted you to see me and now watch me disappear into the woods. She says that. We're talking right now. She's a really witty personality. At least her soul consciousness is extremely sharp. She's sharp as a tack. She's very clever, witty personality. And we're having a witty conversation. It's really fast. It's too fast for language right now. I was saying something of the kind, if you are choosing to go in the forest, then I will choose to walk in the other direction. If that is simply what you came here to show me your face and then have me watch you walk away, then I too will walk away as well. There's a conversation about the sign and the power that it holds, that I could not walk through it to visit with her. And there's a conversation about what she actually does, what she experiences in nature, and what I understand about that is private and of her own world right now. She's a really angry side. You wouldn't expect that. Her eyes are turning to lightning bolts, and she is busting up the ground beneath her. She's quite powerful. She's overwhelming. She could rip the ground up. She could rip up so much ground, she could desecrate the entire planet in a single flick of her finger. She has a very old soul. This isn't a joke, this is an ego speaking to me, this is actually the reflection of her soul. She is simply saying, this is what I need right now. We don't always understand why, but in the end, we have to accept. I can't speak for much longer, but I'm going to try one more thing. I'm exploring removing this. I'm just exploring destroying her keep out. We're having a wizard's duel. Like, you don't impress me with your power. We're giggling and laughing. We're literally like I'm like doing that to her keep outside, and then suddenly she was doing that to my like ability, and now we're like having a wizard's duel and we're laughing hysterically. Like, I'm gonna do this to your head. So I'm like to her head. She's like, ah, I'm gonna do this to your head. I'm like, no, shield. We're totally playfully fighting each other energetically. Nobody's getting hurt. It's totally like a funny thing happening right now. The most unsuspecting thing on the planet. I tell her you're alright. Well, what about this rotten wood? What is your explanation for this rotten wood? She says that's my secret. And what I do in the forest is my secret. Say no. We just had a wizard's duel. I'm gonna spy on you. She likes that. She likes other people being interested in her without her having to try to spark their attention. She feels the most meaningful interactions are when people actually choose to see her. If nobody chooses to see her, then she is not meant to be seen. So only if someone chooses to see her does she value that interaction. Otherwise, it is not meant for her. She really does feel that way. That is her stance on her behaviors, is her style, her sort of closed off nature. That is where it is coming from. But I'm telling you, this frequency of her soul is not is extraordinarily interesting, without a doubt. Very, very, very neat. So that's all I have to share. I don't know if this gives you an answer or not, but hopefully it makes you think, right? We don't always know people, do we? We don't always know people. All right, that's all I can share for this video. For those of you watching, if you're interested in sharing a question and getting an answer, please visit amonros.com. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.